Hello, hello. It's Blue coming to you live from Mount Fuji for not one, but a double interview episode of the Top Cut Talk special WCQ edition. We were lucky enough to speak to both winners of the Americas and Eastern Asia BGA World Championship Qualifier, Aganman and Trickster. This was directly after their win to see or hear the elation in their voice, talk about the major decisions it takes to win these online tournaments, everyone they have to thank for their victory, and so much more. These were the last of the online BGA WCQs, but we should have even more of these episodes leading all the way up to the World Championship, so you all can keep up with the action right until we crown our world champion. So do me a favor and subscribe to the channel by hitting that button, like, and of course, ring the notification bell so you can follow along with us. And now, let's start with the winning moment of the Americas BGA WCQ, where Aganman takes the victory.
All right, well, GGs are coming through in the chat.
GG's indeed. Congrats to Aganman. Give you a little clap there.
Hello guys.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Glad we were able to finally get you on.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. We got the bracket being shown here of your amazing victory
Yeah, thank you.
for the setup here. Got joining with me here is Rinku, and I am Blue. And with us now here, sitting in the big screen with the big bracket of their win, we have. Do you want to say it for us, just in case I've been mispronouncing it the entire time?
It's Aganman.
Aganman.
Aganman, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, you are the champion of this America's BGA World Championship qualifier for the World Championship here for the Altered TCG.
Yeah.
First question I have for you
Yes.
is, how's it feeling?
Yeah, I can believe it right now. Just finishing the games. The last one was very, very hard. Even more because it's after like 7 hours of playing. So,
Yeah.
my head's like burning. Even more when you play Fen, when you have to make a lot of decision. So yeah, just my head is like stop right now, please. But yes, I just can't
Right.
believe it for the moment.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure getting to watch you here this entire weekend, realistically, and seeing someone play Finn so well, like you mentioned, having so many decisions to have to make for the entire game. You did end up playing Bijatak there against the Sigismar. That you said it was obviously a little bit harder because you've been playing a lot, but was there any other hero in particular that you were worried about going into the tournament or even the top cut?
Sincerely, for me, the worst matchup is Fen.
Mm.
It's because it's a bit dice roll, in my opinion. When someone open good, he has a nice advantage. But for other decks, not really sure. I was a bit worried about the bot fix combo because I don't have a lot of out. And before the tournament, I changed my deck a little bit because of the bot fix combo.
Mhm.
So yeah, I added some Tanuki for the sabotage in case it goes to the reserve. But yeah, no. Except this, I was confident. Um, I played against a lot of Bazira, and the matchup is really really good in my opinion for Fen because of Duande. I don't know how to say in English.
Yeah,
Duande.
it is Duende.
Duande, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt like the cards was very very good in this meta. So I start playing one. Then I was like, the card is very good in a lot of matchups. So I started to play two, and I was like, okay, I gotta play two. I almost considered playing three, but was a bit too much.
I got
Yeah.
you.
So you also have played a lot of Trace in the past, right? So what made you choose Fen for this event? Besides the
Yes.
fact that it's good against everything except for the mirror.
Yeah. I played in the beginning of the game. I played a lot of Trace, and when the oven gets
Mhm.
errated, I tried Fen, and I fell in love with the deck. But
Mhm.
sometimes I play the A.W.O.L with Traced, just like a reminder of the deck and how good it is. But I try to play Fen in the end because
Mhm.
I felt more comfortable. I felt like Fen hasn't bad matchups.
Mhm.
And hasn't like, and I don't know. I feel like Trace against sometimes against Atsadi or Gulrong, it's a bit harsh when there's a big. I don't know. I prefer to have the control
Mhm.
than push really hard with Trace. I I don't know. It's still a very very good deck, but I felt more comfortable having the control of can sleep or can put a lot of pressure or draw a lot. Uh, I don't know. Felt better with them overall.
Definitely. Yeah, I also noticed, I mean, you were also, one of the top cut players for the EU BGA Online qualifier, one of the few people that did both, and you also did Finn on that. So I was also kind of curious to see that decision, and it seems like you were a little bit more confident when it comes to these bigger tournaments as far as throwing Finn down opposed to a Trace, and it makes sense as far as the matchups that you mentioned because I kept on seeing a lot of games where Finn players were playing up against Basira that also got really popular this time around because they like to play against Trace, right? So it kind of makes sense that you would play something that beats the thing that beats the thing that everyone wants to play a little bit, right?
Yes,
But
yes, you're right. Exactly right. And yeah, Basira was it's a very good deck. A lot of people is considering more and more Basira.
mhm,
So Duende is better every time better. But Duende is, I feel like the card is good in a lot of matchups,
mhm,
even against Sigismar.
okay.
Uh, Maybe it didn't seem like in the final because he didn't play any monster with the
Mhm.
counters in the result.
Right.
But I promise you that the card is very good, even against Sigismar.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, and against the Hunger too.
definitely.
Mhm.
Hunger is, I mean, a lot of cards in this meta. For me, it's the best card. It's the best meta call and the best card in the game right now.
Interesting. Yeah, you did mention that your worst matchup was the another Finn,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Is that as a result of just how much variety we can see in Finn deck lists? That was something we mentioned before, where it doesn't seem like there is a standard Finn
exactly.
deck list,
Right.
and you just don't know what could happen.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. You even without the units and the decks, if the sometimes the deck just wants you to have good cards. Sometimes the deck don't want you to have good cards. So when you play a mirror match, it's a bit the dice roll, and the beginning is very important. So if I open very bad and my opponent is starting like I don't know it's in English, but the best starter, I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, the game will be very difficult, and I can do nothing about it. I don't say it's game over, but it's pretty bad.
Right. So the deck always has like the tools or the cards that you might need. It's just
Mm,
sometimes the deck gives it to you, sometimes it doesn't, and you might get double advance on turn one, and it might be an uphill battle. But there's other times where you get all the tools you want, and you're just able to do your game plan. And you feel like a lot of the times when you can do your game plan, it is just the best deck.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You said all. You said all. I don't have nothing to add to this. Yeah.
So both Blue and I are from the US.
Yes.
There's still a few qualifiers left, and we don't know all the people that you might think might be able to get a spot in the World Championship. So there's the last chance qualifier the day before the Worlds. Who do you
Yes.
think are other people that we should be keeping our eyes out on who might be joining you and me at Worlds?
Okay. Nice question. A very nice question. The first one that comes in my mind is Clydus. Uh,
Mhm.
I think it's unfortunate for him to haven't qualified yet because for me he's obviously one of the best player in the game. Um, I have a lot of friends in my region and even in my city that are really good. I think about Tagfire.
Mhm.
I think about Octane.
Mhm.
He topped in the last Disneco too.
Yeah.
These are all my friends that we play in my city every weekend.
Oh,
So
wow.
the
Okay.
level is really high every weekend. We play hard. But yeah, a lot of people. I don't know. They don't come in my mind. But yeah, there's all these people.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
And
definitely.
We'll have to
Bishtak
keep an eye out for them. That's great.
Bishtak too is a
Mm,
very well-known player since a lot of times, and he deserved as well to have a place. For me, I was very lucky in the final. My draws and my I don't know, my deck was very uh, how to say. He played very good, but
Mhm.
I was a bit lucky, and yeah, sometimes it's like this.
Yeah.
Even furthermore, the second
Mhm.
game, I felt like the game was finished even at the almost the beginning. He didn't open good, and I have a lot of good ends and good ravitaillement. So
Mhm.
yeah, it could have been him, could have been me. Tonight
yeah.
it's me. That's
Yeah. I mean, other than the first round here in the top cut, you didn't end up dropping a single game throughout the entire time, being able to 2 out all of your games. Was there anything in particularly difficult as far as like the matchups you ran into along the way? Was it that first round just kind of surprised you a little bit? Or did you just kind of get into the groove of feeling really good about your deck and feeling confident every single time in order to get those 2 O's?
Uh, for me, the 2-0s doesn't mean a lot,
Mhm.
sincerely. There's a lot of games I could have lost. The 2-0 doesn't mean that I was, no, I don't know, erasing my opponent or
Yeah.
destroying him. Doesn't. All the games, almost all the games, was very difficult, and each victory was very hard. So yeah, it could have been 2-1. I mean, the 2-0 doesn't mean a lot. The first round, round 32,
Mhm.
I really thought I lost the 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 BO3
Mm.
because because you can't win every time. No?
Right.
So yes, it was very. I think it's one of the games I thought I was lost. I was a bit sad even. Yeah, I ended up winning. But no, all my opponents were very good, and I expected that. Um, I think the matchup, as I said, I was hoping not to sing Fen because
Mhm.
for me it was the worst. So I
Yeah.
ended up seeing two in the top cuts. So it's like okay, it's dice roll
Mhm.
was for me. But yeah,
Nice.
overall, nice tournament.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I uh, I felt good about the decks a long times ago, and I felt like in BO3, if um, if my ends is pretty okay, normal, I should be able to win in BO3.
Mhm.
And I have this mentality for I don't know past month, but yeah, I feel like the fan is a very good. The worst part is to qualify it for the top cut.
Mhm.
It's very difficult, but when you are in BO3, I feel like the deck is very consistent, and you can lose one, but you have more possibilities to win two.
Mhm.
And that was the thing I considered too when I wanted to play Traced.
Mhm.
Is that yeah, there's some matchups like Tasia. Even if the deck is played less, in BO3 against Tasia, I wouldn't be comfortable playing Traced.
Mhm.
Furthermore, because there is a Unix very good, and the Trace just with one card that can how to say um, avalanche.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, with one avalanche in the deck, it's very hard to counter Asia.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's the I was thinking about that at first. So yeah, overall, I felt like Fen was the best choice.
Sure. Riku, did you have anything else?
Um, no, I think I'm good.
Definitely. Well, last question I have for you then is you made it to the World Championship. Anything that you're looking forward to the most now that you've made it and you'll be one of the 32 to compete for that finals?
I mean, I'll be looking for Unix because we have to play 3 decks.
Yeah.
So I have two already, but I need to find my third one, and I will. I'm very happy to qualify tonight because now I can think about the third deck.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I will be at the WCQ in Italy
Mhm.
in 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah.
Great.
Uh, um, I don't know if I will do the WCQ in Asia time
Mhm.
because
It's only
the
2 a.m. your time, right?
2 a.m. I was like I have to do it because I have to qualify, but now that I'm qualified, I don't know if I
Easy.
prefer to sleep rather than. And I don't know. In my opinion, you shouldn't be able to compete when you are qualified. And I don't even know how it works. If maybe if I top again, how does it work? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I do know people have been playing in WCQs, and while there hasn't been an official message said about it, I think the most likely thing is that they would just pass it to the second place person. It kind of makes the most sense, but we don't have an official answer yet as to how it works. So I've just been trying to do commentary instead. But yeah, no, I mean, of course, having people compete is ideal, but yeah, there's no official word yet.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. But yeah, you will see me in Italy, and yeah, I think that's it. But
Yeah. Take
yeah,
a little bit of a break before October and get your
yeah,
ducks in a
yeah, I
row in the
will
meantime.
for sure.
But yeah, that's all I had. I want to thank you again for joining us and answering a few questions. It was great to get some insight. And I mean, first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congrats. Yeah.
Highly recommend looking at it to figure out if it's still in line with um, everybody's idea about what the changes mean. We do have that license withdrawal coming out, which is going to be enough to kill that cute little corgi and send Trickster to the winners podium for this tournament, taking the W over Tasia. Do I need to give it one last one for Geo?
Yeah.
USA, USA.
Fun
Now,
times.
Hey,
There's
oh,
Trickster.
hello, hello, hello.
Got the Exalts jersey on and everything. Did you have that on the entire time while you were playing, just to support the team?
um, I actually just threw it on for the
I
interview.
respect it. I
You could have
respect it.
lied. You could have lied. It's fine. But
I actually have a different shirt that's my lucky shirt that I was wearing for gameplay, but
okay,
gotta represent when I can.
there you go.
Look, you
Perfect.
can't mess with the lucky shirt. As someone that has one of my own, I entirely understand. Now Trickster, I do have a couple questions for you. I know Blue has some too, but I have the first one I want to ask. How does it feel going from being the very last person qualified into the top cut off of the tiniest of tiebreakers to winning the whole event? Can you walk us through how you felt from yesterday waiting for the top cut results and then now to today basking in the glory of getting a trip to France?
Yeah, it was honestly like a crazy process. I am gonna do a video talking about my whole qualification, and just like the short version though, I definitely thought I was dead when it was like round 6 and I already had 3 losses. But I've in all of the events I've gone to, I've always gone like X3 usually and just barely like lost, but I've always had like really good tiebreakers. And usually like everyone that I lose to ends up topping the event. So like the person I played round 4 to determine if I was going to qualify or not was the person I played round 1 and lost to. So it's like a lot of these really good players, since I lost to them in the early rounds just by chance, they ended up making my tiebreakers pretty good, honestly. And so and then in the late rounds, when I had like everyone I beat would have at least 4 losses because I already had 3, but at least some of those early ones had like 8 wins. And yeah, I knew it was going to be close. I thought I could really be on the line. And when I found out I was in, it was so exciting. And then like again today, each round I won was like a little celebration. I think especially after winning in the top 4 and knowing like I was going to France, it was just like a lot to take in. Honestly, like the second most emotional part was right before top 4, before I played, when I was like, wow, like this actually really matters now. Like this
Yeah.
could be it. And then at the end of that, just like all the stress gone and just excitement.
It was almost like a roller coaster. The stress went up, it hit its peak, and then you had a very exciting match, and then it was coasting from there on out.
Yeah, it was a great day for me, honestly. Like yesterday in the best of ones and stuff, I had a little bit of a hard time, but today I think I went 10-1. So I feel like yeah, I don't know, things just aligned. It had to be in the last tournament. Really, like this is going to be perfect for a video or something because it's like all the drama leading up to the last possible chance. And all the
Yeah.
other qualifiers I played in like last week, I actually thought my odds were better last week when I was in top 32 just because of like the deck breakdown and my matchups. But things didn't go my way, but today they did. So it all worked out. I was saving up my luck.
Yeah, speaking of last possible chance here, you did decide not to go over to Baltimore, and you were able to participate in Dallas as a whole. But you were able to get this final qualification spot, or I guess 2 qualification spots here for an online setup on BGA. Can you go over just the differences between playing here on BGA with so many people? I mean, for the EU BGA qualifier, we had the biggest event that Altered has ever had comparative to, let's say, going to Dallas and trying to win the qualifier over there. Any differences for you? Any type of preparation differences from being at an in-person event compared to these online events?
It's definitely different. I played in Dallas in all 3 online events, so I got like 4 chances basically at the qualifying, and I thought my odds were going to be the best in Dallas just because of the smaller group. And it kind of turned out though that I think that playing in these events just really helped me get better. So I think I've improved just because of like it's so different from BGA where you just queue into random opponents and often go on like really big win streaks and things depending on it. And so I feel like this was probably like almost like it was like the tournaments, but it was also like the best practice I've had. And I had like definitely a bit of a shift from Dallas where I lost 3 matches and 2 of them were to people playing cards that costed 5 or more when I had no answers in my deck. And I was like, wow, I don't think I want to play a deck again that doesn't have like an answer to certain matchups and things. And so, and a lot of my other losses have always been to like bad early game. And I kind of just ended up on Sig now where it's worked well for me where it like always draws something to play in the early game. So you don't ever really like get started out behind. And then with some really good removal spells and sleep and things, you have like answers to pretty much any random unique or thing you could face. So I felt a lot more comfortable after making that switch.
Now, on the topic of uniques, you do have some very cool ones in your deck. I know you are a unique connoisseur of sorts. You like collecting ones that you think will be good for a variety of different decks. What were you going into this event thinking of when you were picking the uniques? Did you have a specific strategy with them, or were you just picking the ones that were the baseline strongest that you felt that you had?
Yeah, my unique strategy has shifted a little bit. Also, like if you look at my list, it's changed between events. Um, and so yeah, I definitely think I've been refining the deck list over time. I liked I mean, one thing that you should know is none of the uniques I played today are mine. I was just borrowing all of them. And I think that is something that is tricky where it's like hard to get the best cards, which definitely do help you in close games without like a good network. But one thing I decided is I didn't want to play any more than 1 unique that costed more than 4. That was like one big thing I realized after last week, because last week in like the match I lost, I drew all 3 of my uniques and I had to put 2 in the mana. And I was like, if I only have 1 unique that costs 4, I won't get into a spot where like I can't play one of them day 1 or something, you know. And so
Yeah.
now that I have 2 uniques that cost 3 and 1 that costs 4, I can like save the 4 one that's a little stronger but if I draw it and any of my other uniques, I can always play like one of them as a day one play and never have to like mana mine. I think that was like the last shift that kind of helped with the draws of the deck. That was just like one thing I saw. But I do kind of like some of the 4-cost uniques because they get around removal and often they're stronger. So I think it was cool to have like one 4-cost bomb. But that's kind of just what my reasoning was.
For sure. And you did kind of mention it a little bit as far as sticking with Sigismar as you moved forward here. I know you talked a little bit while we were in Dallas as far as when you initially came to Dallas, you were prepping for the Afanis meta. That was the last time that we would see it at the point. What made you want to stick with Sigismar as you went through past the Afanis meta into these BGA online qualifiers and then just constantly refine it as you went forward? Because infamously, I know you were a big Waru fan and even tried to make it work a little bit after the nerf to it kind of thing as well. So why Sigismar? Is it just what you mentioned earlier as far as the costs and being able to play the entirety of the game, or is there something else there?
It's interesting because the meta has shifted for every event. Sometimes because of like balance changes, and other times just because we've learned more because of the timing. So I think that I feel like Afanis was the best choice for Dallas, and I think yeah, that like that could have still worked out. It's not like it was always going to lose. But then honestly, in the first BGA qualifier, I thought that Sig ended up being a horrible choice, and it didn't really go very well for me. With the meta so wide, there was a lot of bad matchups. And so like I didn't feel like it had a very good chance of winning. But then all of a sudden, by the second qualifier last week in the North American one, I feel like that was actually the best week to play Sig. And I think it has a really good Basira match personally. And I would have played like 3 Basira in a row in top 32. So I think that, but now I think all of a sudden this week again, there was like no Bravos in the top cut, and you like it Saudi and you like Basira, and I personally like Kojo too. So it's like now with all the trace and things, which is a bad matchup, I was suddenly like, I actually don't really want to play Sig, but it's like the only thing I could put together in short notice because I couldn't like find cards or test another deck. And so I'm like, I still felt good enough about it. But I think if I like had infinite time and resources, I might have landed on a different choice today. But I still knew it was like up there enough that as long as I could beat like the trace and avoid like the Gulrongs or something, like I could probably be fine.
Yeah, so this will be my last question for you. On the topic of a variety of different decks that you've considered, looking forward to the future, now that you've qualified for Worlds, you will be taking part in the Conquest format at that event, which requires you to bring 3 different factions and a different deck for each one, clearly. It's obviously very soon, but do you have any preliminary thoughts on what 3 factions you think you might bring? Do you have any insight onto what you think might look enjoyable or competitive with the new set, just firsthand basis? Or are you still up in the air and not really leaning towards one way or the other with those?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think a little bit I was just like focusing on the next thing that was happening for me. And like
Sure.
until I qualified, I was like, I gotta invest my time into just like the current meta. I have though like thought about it some, and I think like the main thing for me is I would consider myself a deck builder, and I I feel like I was optimizing and improving my list these like past couple of weeks through trial and error, and I'm definitely excited to give like everything a try in the new set. And I don't think I would be like, oh, I'm only gonna play like what's good right now because there's not a lot of time. I think I will try and if I see like anything promising, give it at least like a couple tries, and then I'll like see what stands out the most to me. But if I was just gonna guess, I feel like I do kind of like the things that like just play characters and like a pretty fair strategy, and then have like disruption. So like the last deck I just played against the Tasia, it was like an incredible deck, but they couldn't ever really do anything to mess me up. And so it was like pretty comfortable where I could like mana aggressively and know I wouldn't get sabotaged in different
Yeah.
things. And so I'll probably try and play a deck that has at least some sabotage, some removal, and a good amount of characters because I don't like getting like stuck with a hand where I draw all spells. So with that in mind, it's likely I'd end up playing like Bravos and Ordis. But I'll really just play like whatever's interesting to me. I've kind of steered away from Trace because it has like a hard time running removal, and I think that that's maybe like a little bit of a weakness. But with the new set, maybe like Boom and things will be good, and then definitely might be exciting.
Yeah, you're talking about interacting and sabotage and a bunch of characters, and I'm like, okay, so bravos. Anyway, yeah, Simon actually took the question I was thinking of with the conquest format, so no worries there. The last question I have for you is going into the World Championship qualifier. Is it great for you? You're the second now person within the U.S. to do that with Rinku. Is there anyone in particular, whether it be on your team with the Exalts or just people that you've met along the way, that you would like to see get the last few qualifier spots before we hit that last chance qualifier, and you'd like to play against them in the World Championship?
Um, I mean, there's probably too many people to mention, and I'm sure I'd forget some people, but I have actually tested with all of the marbles before some of the online events. After we both kind of like scrubbed out at Dallas, we just kind of got into like a little testing group with a couple other people, and so I'd love to see all of the marbles win their event tomorrow, and just a lot of my teammates I feel like have done really well and consistently been like close to topping. If any of them can win a last chance qualifier, like Aaron today, top four, Jolly got top four in a different one, and Dandy. There's a lot of these like great players who I uh, hope can like at least a couple of them can make it through the last chance qualifiers, and so many more. I think one of the biggest things I've been impressed with playing in these events is the level of play is actually like very high compared to other games I've seen. And partly maybe it's because it's online qualifiers, so you can have players from all around the world, but there are so many really good players. And I think there's way more people who like deserve to be in the world championship than will actually get to participate in that.
For sure. Well, Simon, if you don't have any more questions, we'll give Trickster a chance to do some shout outs here and show off the Exalts jersey a little bit, and then we'll wrap up. Trickster,
Yeah,
go for
I
it.
don't think there. Oh, well, you said if I don't have any more
You said
questions,
you already did your last question.
I could have had another question.
You don't. Trickster,
I
go.
don't. You're right.
Yeah, definitely just want to give some shout outs. So many people have helped me. I have a testing group. So many, like I have my team, the Exalts, of course, that I do so much with, and they've like helped me with finding cards, and uh yeah, definitely a shout out to them. We have a Discord and you can join. There's a lot of like public channels and spoiler channels and things. Shout out to my testing group, Street, Darth Fumbles, all of the marbles, my little 4-player US group. I practiced with them more now recently because of the time zones and things, so it's been great. um Shout out to my YouTube channel. It's been a little dark because I've been actually like practicing for these events, and I hope to get some more content out. There's like so many videos I wanted to make, but it's kind of the thing where I am struggling with the balance of being a competitive player and a content creator. And I think sometimes I let the competitive player side of me get favored a little bit. So my channel's like doesn't always have a lot of content, but especially like after the World Championship and things, when there's like not as many big tournaments, I'll get back into making videos. And I have a couple now that I want to get out now that I finally qualified. But yeah, also the Merchants Guild that I'm in, I used to do a lot of buying and selling, and now I just have some good friends in there like Vico and Mars and things. Shout out to all of them. And I mean, all of you guys, it was so fun to meet you all in Dallas, and you do a great job putting on this. I love that there's actually like a stream for all of these events. So I'm sure I'm forgetting people. The Musubi, Loki Knox. I don't know. There's so many people, but I think that's enough for now. Thank you guys.
Absolutely. Simon, any final words before we head to a goodbye screen?
I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been here with us throughout today. We still have about a couple dozen people watching this stream. I'm sure 99% of them here are for Trickster, but it's cool to watch the people that we've had continue to watch these events as they've happened. So thank you all for supporting us. Hopefully, we'll be able to do more fun events like this in the future. We have our demo deck event tournament next weekend, but maybe we'll have more WCQs that we can run in the future and less BGA issues when they come around. Knock on wood. But nope, that's it for me. Blue, I'll let you send us off.
Yep.
Why, thank you, Simon. I truly hope you enjoyed this double feature of Top Cut Talk. Be sure to check out the A.W.O.L channel with the full VOD for your viewing pleasure. And I'll see you in play on the next day.